welcome to another Leica review. Today we are going to be talking about one of the best lenses Leica has ever built. LEICA NOCTILUX 50mm at f/0.95. Well, while this lens is very popular for a portrait kind of photography, or if creating a special effect by using the rendering of the bokeh that has become a signature look of the Noctilux, we are going to be talking about using it for photography of architectural spaces. Now you might be asking this question, why use a 50mm when you can use a wide angle to capture a wider panoramic view of the space? Or if you are considering to photograph a particular building, you would probably want to have something that is a little wider than the 50mm. Well, you have to understand that using a 50mm lens has its own benefits, because for one, it's closest to what we have as an eye sight. For example, an eye will look at between 40 to 50mm. So there is actually no distortion of images of spaces. So it's a much more accurate rendering of spatial distances than a wide angle. Wide angle tends to push objects into further distances, creating a look that might be not so accurate of the space. So it's one of the first reasons why I have chosen to use this lens, the Noctilux. Secondly, Noctilux, although it provides a very beautiful bokeh at wide open apertures, it also has a very beautiful rendering of images that is very smooth and very accurate, especially on digital cameras like the M9 and the M240. I have chosen to use the M9 for a very particular reason, because in black and white photography, especially in the days when photography became a mainstream activity of shooting spaces and buildings, they had film, and film had grain. And grain, obviously, was random. With the SCCD type sensors, which the M9 has, this kind of random noise is very close to what a film looks like. Well, as if you are photographing with the CMOS type sensors, the images will be more standardized and the noise will be very digitalized. So for that very purpose, it is not the ideal lens to use if you are having a low light situations in the interior spaces. And furthermore, using a monochrome, which has the Bayer filter removed, gives a very beautiful renditioning of spaces. And you might ask, well, why use a monochrome, which is a black and white photography, for interior spaces? Well, a very good reason for that is when you use a monochrome, it creates this gradation of tonalities, which is grays, shades of gray, shades of black, shades of light gray, which is a very pleasing image to look at. And interior spaces, mostly modern architecture, utilizes not so much of colors, but renditioning of minimalism. Minimalism is best reflected when you have gradation of tonalities. And it's for one of these reasons that this combination of using a Noctilux 50mm with the M9 creates such amazing results. And shooting it at f5.6 or f8 or f11, if the light conditions permit, results in very beautiful renditioning of images. Now, of course, wide-angle lens gives a lot of latitude in terms of compositional creation. What I mean by that is, if you look at an image, you are capturing a lot of spatial space in a composition. So what is the subject? If you are constraining your view of angle of view, then you are more specific. You are better able to tell a story and more accurately by pointing what your subject is. For example, if you are looking at a staircase, is your subject more accurately rendered in that space? Or how did you compose your image? And what is unique about this building or this architectural space? That is the question that needs to be answered. And oftentimes using a 50mm helps you to tell that story more accurately. Oftentimes I use two lenses if I want to capture a space, a wide angle and a 90mm or a 50mm, to juxtapose the two different angles of view. But if I had to choose one lens, then it will be a 50mm. And 50mm lenses are some of the most sharpest and accurate lenses in the Leica's lineup. In fact, Apple Monochrome 50mm is one of the other lenses that I might choose. But for this particular purpose of using monochrome camera, nothing beats a Noctilux. Now, I would like you to take a time to look at these photographs at the end of this video and to see how the spatial distances are accurately reflected in the photography, and also how the gradation of colors, especially on the floor tiles, you will see that this actually gives an interesting feel to the image, an artistic composition, if you will. And that is something that I hope you will take with you in your next photography session if you are planning to photograph interior spaces or architectural spaces, because it is one of the most satisfying and gratifying experiences to come home and look at some of the photographs you have captured, and that they actually tell a story of the space and the building and the architectural style it has used. And I hope that this review has been informative, educational, and more importantly, it has been something that you would want to share with others. Because personally, I feel that the Noctilux, with the combination of monochrome for architectural photography, is something that everyone should try if they own a Leica Noctilux M9 or a monochrome. And I thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe to our newsletter on our website and also our YouTube channel, as we continue to bring to you more and more articles and reviews of Leica cameras and lenses.